All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, patrons. Hello, latecomers. I was going to do this outside on the porch, but it is very cold right now, so I don't think we'll do that. I think we'll be skipping porch videos and for a few months. As funny as it would be for me to try to review stuff in the middle of a snowstorm. So yeah, what are we doing today? We are doing Planteray. Yeah, Planteray. So a few months ago, I did a video replying to Lance of Lone Caner, basically, arguing with him a little bit, but taking seriously what I thought was his strongest point, which is that Maison Ferrand, Planteray, formerly Plantation, they are not going anywhere. Whatever objections I can raise against them or others can raise against them, they own the largest distillery in the Caribbean. They have part ownership of a bunch of other distilleries. They have exclusivity contracts. They're pretty darn big in the rum world, and they don't seem to be going away. So my strategic suggestion, offered by way of Neon Genesis Evangelion, was to try to construct a situation, a consumer environment that would encourage them to evolve as a company to maybe behave a little bit better. So, and basically, I think concretely that looks like a little bit of a tit for tat, So, if we see them behaving, I'm not going to go over my list of complaints again, but if we see them behaving in a less sketchy manner, for example, if we see them doing less to kind of undermine the movement for strong GIs among Caribbean rum producers, if we see that, then yeah, give them kudos for it. Give them a thumbs up and spread the good word that they've done a good thing. If we see them actually start to put out products that are good and reasonably priced, because, among all the complaints I make about Planteray, one of the, I think the ones that should maybe come first is I don't think their stuff is very good. I'm just consistently underwhelmed by it. But in the case that they actually start to put out maybe some products that look compelling and don't just have, some marketing fluff around them and, some big names mentioned in the write-ups and, all of that stuff, looking good on paper, interviewing well, if you like. Once they actually have some compelling, concretely interesting products, then we can, try them out maybe. And if they suck, let the world know. And if they don't suck, give them a little golf clap. Maybe give them a little nudge in the right direction with that. That is a story. Have they become less sketchy? Not really. Not really. Have they stopped opposing stronger GIs in Caribbean countries? No. In fact, they have under their kind of being a leading partner of the NRG, the National Rums of Jamaica. They have now taken their case to the Jamaican Supreme Court, basically arguing that other companies building, warehouses in Jamaica for aging rum is anti-competitive behavior, and then it's unfair to them to require that for the GI when they really want to ship rum over to Europe for aging, which I don't understand as like an argument. Like, guys, if the strong GIs of Barbados and Jamaica come into effect, I'm just going to make a business case here. You know what happens if those exist and are established and stable and recognized, and you start to having to put rum distilled in Jamaica / Barbados on your bottles instead of what you have now? You know what happens then? You get to have other bottles in your lineup that do say Barbados rum or Jamaican rum, and you get to charge more money for them. Like, because it's more prestigious. Like, that's how this works. Like, that is how basically nesting appellations work. Do I have to explain this to you? Like, you're French. You should know this. Anyways, so they haven't really started behaving better. However, I have been seeing some bottles hit the shelf here in Chicago which don't look completely horrible. In fact, they look like they might actually be good deals. In particular, I bought this thing. Well, I can't show you to you because there's a gigantic net, so, hang on. All right. Oh, come on. Any time I have to break the cleaver out is a good day. This is a Fiji Islands 2009. So it's from South Pacific Distillery, although they did rename recently to, I can't even remember, it's like Fiji Rum Co, something like that. Yeah, what is this? So it's a 2009, bottled 2025. So this is, 15, 16 years old. And this was $45 over at Binny's. So that is compelling. I mean, that is just killer value. There is no dosage, which is their fancy name that they use because they don't want to say added sugar. There is cask strength. This is 55.2% alcohol by volume. It's a Binny's pick. Like that on paper, that for $45 is a killer deal. Now, and I love the 2009 vintage of Fiji. I don't think this will be quite as aggressively industrial as the other 2009s I'm used to, because this is a blend of pot and column-distilled stuff. I'm guessing it's majority column-distilled, but they never say that kind of stuff. But still. Now, fine print. What is this exactly? It's triple matured. There's an element of stop, he's already dead in here when you start to get to triple maturation. But I'm going to tell you what this is. 9 years of tropical maturation in bourbon casks. They did European aging of 2 years and 4 months in Ferrand cask, which is maybe cognac, their own sketchy thing. And then matured 4 more years and 6 months in a Kilchoman cask, so a peated Islay Scotch malt cask, which is going to have an effect. Yes, it will. The reason why I bought this is just because it's such stonking killer good value on paper for a 15-year-old rum, despite my other misgivings. And also because peated rum in peated whiskey casks can work. There was a barrel bottling I never got to try a couple of years ago that had a very good reputation. There was the Rum Artisanal Elements. I think it was the Fire one I reviewed earlier this year. So those can be good. And the other promising sign is that the secondary and tertiary maturations were quite long. This was not a 3-month dip in a peated whiskey cask. This was 4.5 years of maturation, which means there actually was time for integration and marriage and stuff. So, here's their chance. Here's their chance to win me over, despite the fact that they don't want to make more money by supporting strong AIs or GIs. All right, but we need a sparring partner. I will pour that now. And I'm not going to go easy on them. No. I am throwing them another Fiji from Dos Delinquentes, which is basically a team-up between FRC, Flensburg Rum Co, something like that, European bottler, and Dram Clan, which is another European bottler. So a little double bottler team-up. And this is a 2006 17-year-old Fiji, all pot still this time. 11 years tropical aging in Fiji, 6 years further aging in Europe. Finally bottled 2024, and it is at 72.5% alcohol by volume. Do not light a fire near this. So yeah, that is the tasting today. So this should win. The Dos Delinquentes, this should win this head-to-head. This costs 4 or 5 times as much money as the Planteray. So what is the Planteray's goal here? Hang in there. This is Rocky, if Rocky didn't like strong Caribbean GIs. It just has to make it 12 rounds, and then I will be impressed. All right, but let's, enough of my yapping. We're almost 10 minutes into this. Let's see what these things got. Starting with the Planteray. Okay, identifiable as a rum. Let's start with that. I am getting some fennel, mix of olives, green olives, black olives. Certainly a brininess. And then it gets weird. There's some vanilla. There's a little bit of like a cinnamon creme brulee thing in there. Peat, yeah. You were getting kind of, honestly, it's slightly medicinal peat. You're getting a little bit of like an old bandage kind of character. Even though Kilchoman, in my experience, is one of the cleaner Isla rums, malts. More vanilla, a little bit of a cola thing, RC cola. Banana peel. More maritime peat. Some industrial notes kind of wrapping itself into that, like touch of burned tire, like, something like that. It's kind of playing itself into the peat in a way that's really interesting. I don't know if I like it, but it's interesting. And there's a little bit of fruit on this too. There's a little bit of what is that? Some kind of tropical fruit. A little bit of like a peated pineapple or something. Actually, yeah, not pineapple so much as like almost a pineapple yogurt kind of thing. Pineapple Greek yogurt. But it's peated. That doesn't make sense, but that's kind of what I'm getting. There's like a creamy thing on this. And black pepper. Lots of black pepper. Okay. I don't hate it. I'm kind of amused. On the palate. Genuinely good, honestly. Are there maybe some balance issues? Yeah, this is not... this does not feel like the best, the most fingertippy, delicate, well-judged rum ever made. I'll have a bit more of this. But it's certainly got a lot going on. Well, let's start with what elements I'm guessing is coming from the column-distilled limit on this. So, RC cola again, banana peel again, black pepper, a little bit of like a sweet tea component, a little bit of like a coffee cake component on the palate. And then you got maritime peat. On the palate, it tastes cleaner than it was in the nose. I'm not getting so much the bandages, the medicinal aspect on it. But, yeah, maritime peat, seawatery peat, with a little bit of, like, a crushed seashell elements, a little bit of minerality in there as well. Plus, a little bit of, like, some kind of glue. Rubber cement maybe, plus a little bit of burned bicycle tire. Mixed olives, fennel, salted licorice. A little bit of a lemon peel thing, that's interesting. And like maybe, a little slice of pear peel, something like that. There's a little bit of pear in there. And some ashtray, I'm not going to lie. And did I mention the black pepper? Lots of black pepper. And some coffee grinds. Let's throw that in there too. Yeah, I don't hate this. In fact, for $45, I might recommend this. You have to get over the fact that it's a peaty rum. And that's what it tastes like. That's exactly what it tastes like. But if you're into that, this is a pretty good deal. Good job, Planteray. You get a star. Anyways, let's see what this does with water. Water, this is the kind of thing that water, I could see it completely throwing it off. But I want to see what happens. 2, 3, 4. Maybe we'll do 5. Stop there. I'm a little worried, not going to lie. So far, so good. Dos Delinquentes, Fiji, 2006, 17-year-old. Relative to what this is, it's 170 euros or so, if you can still get it. It's not too bad for what it is. Let's see what we got. My big question is, what style of Fiji is this going to be? Because Fiji's a little bit of a changeling. You can get really austere industrial monsters that can give Coronis a run for their money in terms of sheer stinkiness. Or you can get delicious, decadent, near Foursquare levels of cakey tobacconess. Let's see what we got here. Okay. We are in decadence land. Oh, absolutely. This is the one, if you are a Foursquare fan, if you are a St. Lucia fan, come right on in. This is going to be your thing. I can just tell. I mean, immediately I'm getting... imagine Coca-Cola drizzled on top of... Or not the soda, the syrup. Coca-Cola syrup drizzled on top of pound cake. That's kind of what this smells like. It is really just decadent. Along with your cola pound cake, you've got a little bit of pineapple upside down cake. Some kind of nutty thing, like a pecan pie. Peanut brittle. Yeah, sure, let's go with that. It's not it doesn't smell like a bourbon. I mean, you've still got those little hints of salted licorice, touch of black olive to remind you that, this is a rum. But also some, there's a little bit of tobacco elements. There's especially golden Virginias, red Virginias. Most definitely. I mean, this smells... I sometimes use the expression, it smells like a southern dessert cart, and it really does. This just... I could go to, Montgomery or something, to really nice restaurants, and just have them wheel out the dessert cart, I feel like. And I feel like this is what it would smell like. If you just bristled some seawater and licorice and olives on top. Oh, and sweet tea. Big sweet tea element on this as well. Lightly floral as well. Interesting. Not quite floral, really. Was I getting on that in the other one? Nope, not floral. This is, though. This has I sometimes get a floral cola component. So imagine you've got your Coca-Cola syrup, and imagine it's like you've dialed up the floral element by, times 10. A little bit of that. And some white pepper. And some cinnamon. I guess that comes with the coffee cake element. On the palate. I mean, it is 72.5% alcohol by volume, and you notice that. This is extremely nippy and numbing on the palate, at least for me. Maybe I'm a weakling. I don't think I am, but maybe I am. But it's also very, very dense and syrupy. I mean, there's a syrupy with very old, very, very woody things. Syrupy quality that you get with that style. And it's here. Like, we're in... I mean, it doesn't taste like George T. Stagg or anything, but... we're nudging into that territory. It's just so thick and syrupy. Much more high-toned, much more aromatic on the palate than it is on the nose, which sounds very weird, but that's kind of what I'm getting. There's a syrupiness to this. There's like a... molasses cola, nutty syrup thing happening. But then, and that's kind of holding everything down, but then the stuff on top of that is more interesting. You've got some aromatic vanillas, flowers, cinnamon, spices, pepper. Aniseed. But also fennel. Sea salt. I might have liked the nose better on this. I mean, it is just incredibly high proof-wise, so maybe proofing this down will let me just taste a little bit more of it, because I feel like my tongue is being numbed a little bit. Yeah, you do have the tobacco-y element, the Virginias, and the dessert cart cake pie element to this, but on the whole, everything feels more high-toned, despite the fact that it is so thick and syrupy on the palate. So that's interesting. All right, let's give this some water. 2, 3, at least 6, 5, 6. Nope. More than that. 7. I'm afraid to go more than 7.5. I think it needs it, but I'm afraid to go more than 7.5. God in my mouth. Okay. I mean, this is something you need to watch out for when you're adding water to something. I will sometimes taste it right away just to see where I am, but one of the things that can happen is you just get a big old mouthful of pepper and alcohol, and yeah, that's happening now. Do add water if you need it, if you feel like it, if you need it, if it benefits, but you need to give it a second to let it settle. Let's give that a second to settle, and we'll move back to our Planteray and see what the addition of water has done to their little science experiment here. The peated whiskey cask has kind of really taken this thing over, which is not the worst thing in the world. It smells like... it smells like a peaty whiskey. It smells like a Kilchoman or a Colila or something. Maritime peat on the cleaner side, lemon peel, touch of pear or something. And then underneath that, you do have some interesting stuff. You have a little bit of burned rubber cement. Still have your olive. More black olive this time. A little bit of licorice. I mean, it presents more peaty whiskey, but if anything, now that I've added water, it feels a little bit more integrated, which I don't hate. Yeah, you've still got a little bit of the RC Cola in there, a little bit of pepper. Okay, on the palate. You know what? This is okay. We're very much like, again, it's very dominated by the cask. 70% of the flavors of this now taste like, peaty whiskey. So peat, I could just name it off again. Peat, sea salt, a little bit of lemon peel, touch of pear, the touch of the aromatic pear thing, floral pear. But it kind of works. Like, playing around in this, kind of, propping it up a little bit, giving a little bit of detail, is your rummy stuff. Your cola, your banana, your olive, your fennel, salted licorice, a little bit of bike tire. It's not perfect. It does feel weirdly thin on the palate. Don't say I killed it with water, because I didn't. This is holding together just fine. It just feels a little bit thin. And some of the stuff sticks around a while in the finish, and it's the peaty whiskey stuff. But a lot of the other elements of this kind of fall away pretty quickly. Yeah. I'll give this an 85 plus. 85 plus, and for $45, this is, if you're okay with the style, if everything I just described sounds fine to you, then yeah, this is recommendable. I mean, if you don't like peaty whiskey, if you don't want it in your rum, do not buy this. But yeah, for the first time in maybe the history of this channel, I can point to a bottle from Planteray and say, I think this is worth buying. Yeah, so still not my favorite producer on the planet. I wish they would change a few more of their behaviors, but this is okay. This is good. And this is well priced. And as much as a kind of Frankenstein monster as it is, it's a distinctive thing in the market. So yeah, good job, Planteray. You get a gold star. Now start supporting the GIs, goddammit. All right, let's move up. Yes. Okay, I mixed up my glasses there for a sec. Okay. Back to the Dos Delinquentes. See what this can do. And again, I don't... It would be a true upset if the Planteray won this head-to-head. I don't think it's impossible. But that would be an upset just because of the price difference. I mean, $45 versus 170 euros or so. So it's less nippy on the nose, which is good. This new Fiji. It's sort of taken the more aromatic, bright cues I was getting on the palate to kind of translate them over. It still smells very, very decadent, very woody, very southern dessert carty. But yeah, now we're really emphasizing the flowers, the cinnamon, the spices, the perfumes almost. Yeah, so if you come here looking for a super duper stanky industrial Fiji, this one's not going to do it. Neither is the Planteray. This is more in the St. Lucia four-square-y style camp. And I'm okay with that. On the palate. I like this better with water. It's a little interesting. It's, I think I like the nose a little bit better without water, despite it being a hair bit more nippy. But the palate feels more like a complete beast from where it was before. It's become some of those middle elements I was missing have really filled in. Like now you were getting your full array of southern cakes and pies and stuff, and fruits and teas and coffees and tobaccos. It's all kind of in there. All the stuff I was getting from the nose before, actually, that's kind of now pulled back a little bit, all of that went to the palate. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's still one of the more aromatics driven Fijis I can recall having, at least in this kind of cleaner, four square style. But yeah, this is pretty good. This is lovely. I will give. What am I going to give this? I will call this. The Planteray isn't winning. I'll call this an 87 plus. 87 plus points for this Fiji 2006 collab. And so yeah, there you go. The Planteray loses, but frankly, I don't think it's been embarrassed by this, 70-odd% monster that costs 4 or 5 times as much, and that's kind of impressive. So that's your lineup. 85 plus points for this $45 Planteray monstrosity. It's okay. It's okay. I kind of like it. Take your star, Planteray, and please do other things I can recommend, and I don't know, be better. The Fiji from Dos Delinquentes, 87 plus. Yeah, really good if you're into that kind of four square-y St. Lucia-y style. Although frankly, it's a fun twist in it because it's more, it feels brighter on the palate than a lot of those, which are just sort of these big monsters. It's fun. 87 plus points. And yeah, that is the video. Thanks for watching, and cheers.